That's only for pictures.
No, it doesn't make the same noise.
Ding, ding, ding.
I turned it off.
Yes,
I
I
don't know
know.
where we did that. Okay. So it's used to measure the rainfall in Stormville.
So one tiny.
So a can is used to measure. Well, it's not like it's
A
going to
10
fill up
milliliter.
that can.
Okay.
Good Lord, you're going to have a flood if it does.
100 millimeter diameter can.
No, 10.
That's a radius. No, it's not. Yes, so it was 100 millimeter diameter.
Okay, how do you go from radius to diameter?
You square the radius.
No.
No.
Yes.
It's times 2.
Radius. Well,
You're
that's
having a
20.
bad
Because
day
radius
today.
is half the diameter.
So during the first
It's 20.
5 days of this 60-day period,
You're having a bad day
3 milliliters of rainfall has been collected. So during the first 5 days, 3 milliliters of rainfall has been collected. That sounds like some kind of initial condition.
It's a preset.
A preset, yes. The height of water in the can is modeled by the function S, where S of T is measured in millimeters, and T is measured in days, and T is between 5 and 60. The rate at which the height of the water is rising is given by the function, and then they give you this.
Yes.
So notice S prime, and it says it's the rate at which the height of the water is rising. So we're going to start by finding the value of the integral from 10 to 15 of S prime of T. Now this is a calculator problem, so you can be grabbing your calculators. We could probably do this without, but
I calculated that.
all right. So the integral from 10 to 15 of S, that is not an S.
That is
S,
5.
that was a 5. S prime of T dt
These
today.
just
Those
nice.
ones that Dakota gives it to you.
is equal to, you're right, is equal to S of T.
I agree.
All right, and it's going to be evaluated from 10 to 15. So this is going to be S of, let me find it, yes, thank you, 15 minus S of 10, which actually we're just going to plug this into our calculator. So the integral of 10 to 15 of, and it is totally fine to write S prime of T in your work, because here's what happens. Especially on calculator problems, people will write down this, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with writing down what it's equal to. But they make a copy error when they write it down. And then even though your answer is correct, because in the calculator they put it right, they're going to count off a point just because you wrote this down wrong. So just write it down like that. That way there's less chance for error. Write down S prime of T. And just giving the answer is enough. So we would do math 9 from 10 to 15. And then we type that in. Please make sure, well, your calculator should always be in radians, but make sure it is. So 2 sine 0.03 x plus 1.5 dx. What did you guys get?
I have 11.159.
11.15929.
Shut up, Daniel.
245.
Sorry. I have,
I think I got more correct answer.
there we go. 11.159. They actually will not go past 3.
Boom.
So if you put 716, even if it's wrong, they'll only grade to 3.
I can to sleep at the last 3 days.
I wouldn't do it. As sure as I say that, next year they'll be different. But that's the way it's been in the past. Okay, so using correct units, explain the meaning of this value in context of the problem.
The water grows.
Okay,
Happening
let's do units first.
millimeters.
Okay, it is millimeters because we're taking the antiderivative of the derivative.
And
So it's not a rate anymore.
No, it's position.
Yes. So 11.15 millimeters is the amount of what?
growth
Of growth, okay.
over 5 days.
Of the water level. Or you could say height, but that works.
The water grew.
Level from 10 to 15 days.
If I say over 5 days, will that still count?
No.
I did math to get 5.
Yes, you did, but I mean, which 5 days?
Well, if I wrote 10 to 15 for it,
I know. I think they would give it to you, but,
they're so picky.
well, they are picky, but they are
Lazy.
dying to give you a point. So they're looking for any way they can give you at least a point somewhere. So keep that in mind. They're not out to get you.
I think so.
No, they're really not. I just had my meetings I had the last 2 days been talking to like one of the chief readers,
What did they say?
and that's what he said. They're trying to find a point to give you.
I'm really upset if I don't pass this test.
Yeah.
Get to it, like
You should. At the end, if you will try.
I should be upset if I don't pass it.
No. At the end of the 60-day period, what is the volume of water that had accumulated in the can?
Can we multiply that by numbers?
Show your work. Okay. So,
Are we going to do that 3 plus?
We have to know the height.
we have to know the height first, which this was figuring out height. That's what we did. When you said the growth of the water, I'm assuming you meant the height of the water. Yeah, as it grew over time. So, to figure out the height, it is the antiderivative from 5 to 60 of s prime of t dt.
Why does it start at 5?